in love, connections, dreams, getaway experiences. Braveheart Workshops. Unique Getaways live with Jill Reynolds.
The Connection Show. Restore, renew, reconnect with community. Sponsored by Braveheart Workshops. This is Jill Reynolds live with John Burton. Hi, John.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I just wanted the audience to know a little bit, John, about who you are. And John is the owner of 3 amazing venues here in Branson, Missouri. One is the Escape Room, the other is the X Game, and the other is Saga's Mysteries, which is an immersive and theatric production. John has also been developing and leading ministries for over 25 years, and he's a sought out teacher, prophetic messenger, and revivalist. He ministers in churches and at camps and conferences throughout the country. John has authored 10 books and is a regular contributor to Charisma magazine and has appeared on Christian television. He's planted 2 churches and he's initiated 2 prayer movements. He has a large and growing library of audio and video teaching and books that can be found on his website. He also hosts his own show called The Furnace. So what an amazing bio. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. This is great.
Well, John and I met over Facebook and found out that we both live in the same neighborhood, but with the social distancing, we haven't yet been able to meet in person. And I'm looking forward to the day I can meet you and your family because we only live a few blocks from each other.
Yeah, I know.
So it's amazing. Actually, there's another lovely lady in our neighborhood I'd love to connect you with who's the general manager of King's Palace. So
Oh, great.
here in Branson. So yeah, so John, I'd like for you to share a little bit. First, why don't we talk just a little bit first about your 3 companies here in Branson and, share with the audience a little bit about what they are, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, sure. So we own Escape Code and also the Axe Game and Saga's Mysteries. And so we've been in ministry forever, it seems. And then we moved to Branson about 5 years ago, and we were looking for kind of that next step. And it became actually quite obvious that this was going to work for us. So we opened Escape Code first, and it just blew up. In fact, it was rated by USA Today as the 5th best escape room in the nation. That was back in 2017, which was really cool. And so that's been going strong. And then after that, we opened the Axe Game. So we have axe throwing, and that's a blast. And that's all of this is located in the shops of Branson Meadows here in Branson. And then most recently, Saga's Mysteries, which is it's my personal favorite right now. It's just unlike anything else you've ever done, and just a load of fun. And so we are, my wife and I, we are giving ourselves to building and developing these businesses, and we're having a great time.
Well, one of my most favorite board games of all times is Clue. So I'm sure that I would love to do the murder mystery type of thing. I haven't
Oh,
yet
sure.
convinced my husband. So my husband and I moved to Branson just under 2 years ago, and so I haven't developed that many friendships yet with women. But if I can't get him to go, I got to find somebody, or else I'm going to just come by myself.
Yeah, there you go. Why not?
So tell us a little bit about the Furnace, your live broadcast, so that once people hear this live broadcast, they might be able to tune into your show and know what you offer them.
Yeah, so the Furnace is it's really the branding that I give my media, so my podcasts and my video. And so I'm talking about anything from revival to prayer to current events and how that relates to us in the church. And so it's just a nonstop kind of just unpacking of kind of some divine ideas and revelation. What's God saying? What's God doing? I write for Charisma magazine. You mentioned that. And so what often happens is I'll write an article and then I will do a podcast and a video on that article. And so it's kind of the way it goes. right now it's not as scheduled just because of my crazy busy life. Potentially we'll get that little more scheduled, but I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. But loads and loads and loads of material on my website. Most of it's free. You can also buy books and t-shirts also if you want to. But most of the stuff is free, articles, videos, and so the furnace is going to be your media, your video and your audio.
Awesome, awesome. So, managing a family, managing three businesses, and managing ministry. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yep.
What I'd love to know is how because this is the connection show, so we'll go into my connection questions in a moment. But what I'd love to hear, because you're doing two of almost the opposite spectrums, the spiritual ministry work with the attractions. So have you been able to utilize the ministry in the attraction arena yet, or are they so separate you can't kind of blend them together?
Well, we have, there's scriptures on the walls, for
Okay.
example, which is cool, and people make mention of that, and but it's they're businesses, and we have all types of folks who come in, and so we're not there preaching or doing Bible studies, although that might be fun someday. But they're businesses, and so people are going to come in, they're going to have good, clean, healthy family fun, and and it's clear that we are a Christian business and we're Christian owners, and that's obvious to most if they're looking at the walls at all and seeing some of the scriptures that we're putting up there. But yeah, so that's kind of how that works, and it's just it's an outflow of who we are. You just
Hmm.
you show up and you be Christ-like, and you smile and you have the people pick up on that, and it's a great
So
market.
are any of your murder mysteries, uh, can you blend some like Bible study things in with the murder mysteries as who done? I guess we'll be like walking down the path of Jerusalem and the murder takes place.
Well, one of our escape rooms is it's actually a Bible escape room. We're about to
Uh,
retire it pretty soon, but it's the imprisonment of Paul and Silas. So you're in the prison where Paul and Silas was, and so that's one. We have 5 escape rooms, and that's a Bible based one, and so
okay.
but that's going away soon. It's been with us for a little while. We're going to replace it, and but we do some things like that, and we'll work in good godly principles into the stories at times. Yep.
Well, I've got a really fun quick story that you'll be blessed with in the audience is my son is 37 now, and when he was 6, I took him to California, and he just said, "Mom, I got to go to the wax museum. I got to go to the wax museum." So we walked into the wax museum, and as you're going down the first aisle, he saw all of the horror flicks figures like Dracula and the vampire, and he starts walking, and it's in the lanes in the wax museum is just one way. So he starts walking, and he goes, "Oh, Mom, there's evil throughout this place." He said, "I don't like it here." He says, "There's like nothing in here like regarding Jesus. Let's get out of here." So we're walking, trying to escape the wax museum, and we get to the very end, and there's the Last Supper. So he stops and he goes, "Oh, finally, Jesus is in this place." He goes, "Let's just stop for a moment and look at the Last Supper." So he's staring at the Last Supper, John, and he sees on the plates people threw coins. And he goes, "Oh, Mom, look what they've done to our Lord and Savior. It's like they're throwing money like in the temple with the money changers." He goes, "I don't like this, what they've done to the Last Supper." And so he goes, "Mom," he goes, "I need to find out, how do I invite Jesus into my heart?" So we walked outside, and right then and there at the Wax Museum, he accepted the Lord. So
Wow.
it's kind of neat when I asked you, like, have you had any themes yet or any revelations going on in the escape room?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was his testimonial at 6 years old.
Wow.
Well, kind of transitioning, our show, The Connection Show, started with me having just a passion for people right now who are just hurting with this social distancing, emotionally, spiritually, just the whole realm. And so, my question to you is, How have you and your family found connecting during this pandemic, and what does it look like for you during the social distancing time?
Yeah, well, I mean, a couple different ways to answer that. Personally, for me, believe it or not, people don't tend to believe this when they hear it, but I'm very much an introvert, and so
Mhm.
I draw energy from oftentimes, not all the time, oftentimes being alone and in praying or just relaxing or pondering, thinking, planning, developing, and all of that kind of stuff. So I come alive in those scenarios. And so uh, the pandemic, I guess I've been training for this my whole life, and it works out. It works out great. And so I'm not the type of person where I'm uh, stressing out because I can't connect with friends or whatever. So that's not me. But the other way to answer this question would be how our family has been able to have some quality time, and we've been all over the place, Arkansas and different parts of Missouri, doing lots of hiking and swimming in
Mhm.
swimming holes and waterfalls and nature trails and all of that kind of stuff. So we've done a ton of that. Almost every 2 or 3 days, we're out doing something like that. And so we've had a blast doing that. And then my wife and I, we also have a YouTube channel, a travel channel, and so she and I do that together, and that's fun. And so we're able, you know, her and I, we can connect, just have fun. And so we do, we not right now, but we go on cruises or we'll travel and things like that. And so we've developed that YouTube channel, and so that's another way that we can have an outlet. And we just did another one driving through Branson a couple of days ago, and it was great, a lot of fun.
Wow, I love it. That sounds amazing. I I've not been able to do the cool things you're doing, the hiking. I unfortunately was in a really bad car accident a couple years back and can't walk, and I can't stand for more than 5-10 minutes. And I was just saying to my husband, yeah, yesterday, I said, as we were watching people, my husband and I actually just drove to St. Louis to visit our grandchildren. We hadn't seen them in 5 months, and I saw so many people walking down the streets, and I said, that's the biggest thing I miss is being able to walk. I cannot wait till the water and the pools open again because my modality of movement is water aerobics.
Mm.
You would never know I was disabled in the water. So I wish I could do those things like go hiking, and that sounds so amazing. So with 2020 being, we're almost halfway through 2020. I can't even believe it already. What are your dreams for this year? What do you dream about in 2020?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with the crazy crisis in the land, everything changes or is delayed a little bit. But really, just continuing on the path that we've been on, moving into this year, just continuing to write. I've had another online publisher start to publish my work, so that's good. I have a book that I would like to possibly get out there. Not sure if it's going to happen this year or not. I've been kind of sitting on it. That's a possibility. But then just continuing to develop the businesses and diving back into that. So those are the big things. I'm considering. I talked about this a little while ago. What it might look like possibly to take the media maybe to the next level. I feel like there's some opportunity there, and I've had quite a bit of experience doing that, and I enjoy it, and so that's a possibility as well. So I'm a visionary, and have planted churches and done all sorts of crazy things, and so I'm always kind of looking beyond the horizon. But it's kind of cool right now because there's a lot of good things in place, and so I just want to continue developing that, and then adding to that incrementally and as necessary. And so we'll just see how that goes. Be it a book or be it we're going to build out a new room at Escape Code, or be it new media ministry or whatever.
Wow, that sounds really fascinating. I really love hearing those visions and what you have going. And I'm one of those types of people, John, that as people speak, my spiritual gifts are wisdom, knowledge, and discernment. And as people speak, the Holy Spirit always fills me with, oh, connect this dot. So as you were talking, I'm like, wow, I can see this with you. It's just funny how that works, and I'm just always amazed how with the millions and millions of people in the universe, how I feel certain people are brought into my life at certain times, and so it's just a blessing to connect with you. And so with that, and with what you were saying with you and your wife with this YouTube travel channel, I love that as well. Let me know, what is a getaway experience, if you could do a getaway experience still in 2020 or the beginning of 2021, what would that look like for you?
Yeah, well, there's a slam dunk answer on that one. We had our 25th anniversary European cruise planned,
Oh,
and then the pandemic hit, and
oh,
so that is on delay. So that's the dream right now. We want to do that, maybe a 14-day cruise to Netherlands and uh, the UK and just I'm not sure all the different places, but out there somewhere and to take a cruise because we love cruising, and
okay.
that's definitely on our radar. But so that's for sure what I would do.
That's amazing. Well, one of the things that Braveheart Workshops is looking forward to with the pandemic ending is we try to find some amazing places. And as you see in the picture here with me, with the beach and the palm trees, I'm a beach lady, and I've done cruises, and I just don't do well on cruises. I am a free spirit where I have to get on that beach. I have to ground myself in the sand, and you give me water and I'm as happy as a lark. So for me, I personally feel confined on cruises. I do. So I have found my haven, which is now Aruba, and Aruba is owned by Netherlands. So I'm just hoping and praying that this will be over and I can do Aruba in October, because my husband and I will be celebrating our 20th anniversary next week, actually.
Awesome.
So I really want to do my Aruba again. So, um, well, John, with your cell phone, my fun question to ask of you, if you were told you had to delete all your apps on your cell phone and you could only keep two, what are your two must-haves on your phone?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a pretty easy answer, I guess. My Bible app for sure, and then probably my email app because that's how I stay in touch. I mean, there's all sorts of ways to stay in touch with folks, but I still email a ton, and so I would feel lost without it.
You know, it's really funny because a lot of people pick a connection app, and it's amazing how we need our connection apps. I had said that I needed Facebook because I connect and post everything on Facebook. And my funny one was I had to have my Waze because I can't figure out how to get around Branson. I don't know where I'm going. If I didn't have my Waze, I wouldn't know where I was going.
Yep,
Uh,
I hear
um,
you.
yeah. And my last question for you today is, what is one fun fact about John Burton?
Boy, there's so much crazy stuff that we've gone through in our lives, but here's a fun one. Uh, my mom and dad, they are with the Lord now, but my dad was a Catholic priest, and my mom was a Catholic nun. And they met in confession, and she thought there was something to this guy, and she hid in the church waiting for him to come out. And they met and fell in love, and they left the ministry, and they got married and had me and my brother.
Wow, that's an amazing story. So what religion, I would say, because I know you're Christian, but what type of church then did you guys grow up in since they left the Catholic Church?
Yeah, just spirit-filled charismatic churches, Assembly of God
Okay.
churches, similar. Yeah.
Okay, that's an amazing story. That is amazing. I love that one. Well, I really appreciate you being on the show, and we so much appreciate your businesses here in Branson, and we can't wait. Have you gotten any word yet from the governor or from the mayor of Branson of the possibility of when you can reopen, or is that still not been told yet?
Oh no, every business in Branson can reopen anytime with there's certain restrictions, but a Scapegoat is opening May 15th, and the other two, I believe, there's no set date yet, but we're shooting for first part of June.
First part of June. Okay. Well, keep me abreast because I'd really love for everyone to find you. And when we can get out there again, support your businesses and help you out. I'm going to put on the screen right now John's bio and his Facebook page, his websites that you can find him at. And so please reach out so that John and you can connect. And if you're coming to Branson, we really do hope that you'll take the time to visit his venues and support him, and to keep him and his family in your prayers right now as they continue this journey of ministry, helping others and connection. And so in closing, I'd just like to share with the audience that Connections show, my show, Braveheart Workshops, has decided, we started last week on Monday evening. Every Monday evening, we're doing Zoom lives called the Connection Gathering, where anyone can join in and connect on a social level. We're hoping that as people join the show and connect with Zoom, that they'll be able to have more friendships during this time. If you're struggling with anxiety, depression, anything like that, it's a wonderful place that we can connect and be ourselves. Share story. I myself have many years of recovery. I'm 38 years recovered from drugs, alcohol addiction, and also recovered from eating disorders. So I'm available to support you during this pandemic and thereafter. And hopefully, as we connect on the Connection Gathering, we'll be able to dream about getaway experiences together. So thank you so much, John, for joining us, and we'll be posting this on my Facebook pages, and we'll post it on John's as well, that you can listen in on this interview. So thanks so much, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you on Monday evening, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time on the Connection Gathering. Have a great day. Bye now. Let's connect now. We can dream together to renew, restore, and reconnect with wellness in our life. Go to braveheartworkshops.com. Join me for weekly Zoom connections on Facebook at facebook.com Braveheart Workshops. Thanks so much for joining the show, and we look forward to seeing you on Monday nights.